What's up, guys? I'm here in Rio de Janeiro and it is getting crazy with the coronavirus. So we're going to talk about that today in this video. Today is Wednesday, May 27th. We moved here right before Christmas, so we barely had a chance to settle and even meet people, and then we've been in quarantine. So it's been rough, but we're making it happen. So Rio is the epicenter of this madness because it's like the travel destination in Brazil. So a lot of travelers came here. I feel like that's how it started. Our first confirmed case was a man in São Paulo, February 25th. I think the whole virus started during Carnival, which is like the second week of February. There were millions of people here. There's like 1 or 2 million people on the streets every day during Carnival for a week. And so, of course, it came during then, but nobody really knew what it was at the time. All of a sudden, Rio is really bursting at the seams. Brazil really isn't testing. Even now, with all these numbers, we're the second highest under the United States with the most deaths and highest cases. Even now, we're climbing the charts, but we're still not even testing that much. Seriously, it's pretty crazy. And I believe we're at millions, more than what the numbers are reporting, because there's just such high density populations, especially in the favelas, but in the different pockets around Brazil, especially in Rio, there's 17 million people here. This virus was just bound to get us. That big tent behind me is one of the temporary pop-up hospitals. I came out front just to check it out. It's in operation. There are cars and it looks like there's a check-in point right there. I think they're doing some testing back there. But this is one of 4 hospitals in the Rio area. So we're in Barra da Tijuca, which is where we live. They all have between 200 and 400 beds. They had a goal to reach like 2,000 beds here in Rio for just the coronavirus. So this one is a hospital for severe patients. But I mean, it's an effort. At least they're trying. They're trying, and it's good to see that. We watched them build this as we drove by. And we saw them making all the beds out of wood. The problem is that they've got some beds, but they're really limited with staff and equipment. So even if, there's these resources, it's a good start, but I really feel like it's still lacking in many ways. So we'll see, they're trying. We started quarantine in Brazil about the second week of March. So we've been on quarantine for months. The coronavirus is very political here in Brazil as well as the States. Lots of drama going on. Our president Bolsonaro was like, go back to work. Everybody's just gonna get it anyway, just go back to work. And then the Ministry of Health is like, no, stay at home. So then Bolsonaro fires him. And then there's like more scandal. So it's annoying, and I think it really makes it hard for the Brazilians to follow all these strict rules because their government is corrupt and their government is always imposing all these rules, and so nobody really follows them anyway. So when it comes down to something serious, I think it feels the same way. They're like, oh, it's just more rules that they're implementing, but nobody's really enforcing them, so they don't really follow them that well. And I think that's the other reason why the spread is happening so fast, is because people really aren't social distancing that well. Some people are super safe and staying inside and doing what they're supposed to do. A lot of people are, but then a lot of people aren't. So it's kind of interesting. It's a cultural thing too, where Brazilians are so social. They need each other. It's so hard, and I understand that too. I'm a people person, and this has been so hard, but when we drive out in the streets, we see people still gathering. I've seen people still having exercise classes on the beach and hanging out, and so I'm like, that's the way it's gonna go. I mean, it's really hard for all of us. It's just a hard situation. So who this virus is going to affect the most are the poverty-stricken Brazilians who live in the favelas, because they're crammed in housing, in unsanitary conditions, and they all just lived crammed together. And so there's just no way to stop that spread, and there's millions and millions of people living in that situation. It's really unfortunate because those are the people who don't have health care or who will rely on public health, and that was already very limited to start with. And so they will suffer the most, and those are people who are dying the most. As far as us, we're doing good. We're hanging in there. Thank you everyone who's been all of a sudden messaging me and emailing me and, contacting me on Facebook and Instagram like, hey, we see these numbers in Brazil. Are you guys okay? So thank you. We love you. We are okay. Our family has been healthy and, just hanging in there. We're in an apartment trying to survive quarantine with 5 kids. It hasn't been that great. But we're doing okay. We are in a good area, a good, safe, clean area. I mean, I think eventually everyone's gonna get this. But for now, our area is good, and we stay out of the favelas, and we really do try and stay safe and social distance and wash our hands. All of those things they've been telling us to do, we have been doing. We took some time before all this to get prepared. Like right as this was happening, I was like, okay, no, I have 5 kids. I don't have any family and friends around me for help or support. I am gonna get ready. I made a video on a coronavirus family survival guide, and I will link that above if you wanna check that out. So this is what we decided to do, was stock up on a bunch of food. We have noodles and toilet paper. We have bins, that's food. There's food in these closets. Most Brazilians don't stock up. I think it's probably more of an American thing. So this is my daughter's room. Here are some bags of food organized and labeled. There's all kinds of stuff in here, Nutella and masks and all kinds of stuff. You never can be too prepared, especially with kids. We are ready for an apocalypse over here. If there was one way I could have prepared better for the coronavirus, it would have been to get some good exercise equipment at home. Now I'm stuck doing these workouts at home with limited equipment, so I came up with a solution. Laundry soap. These are 7 kilos, 14 pounds each, so I've been using these and they work really well. This is how we do homeschool. We are really liking homeschool, actually. We've adjusted well. We've got a good routine going. All of the kids have laptops or tablets. Chris is generally the instructor, and from 8 to noon, we have school in our dining room, and it's actually working out. One of the toughest things for us is that our business, our trampoline park, has been shut down for over 2.5 months. The one in Salvador has been shut down, and the one we're opening in Rio has been halted. So completely frustrating and stressful and very hard. That's been the hardest thing, is dealing with that and figuring out finances. Like, this coronavirus is causing a bigger economic problem, and we just cannot live like this. None of us can. And so the whole thing just blows my mind. I'm wearing my mask because it's illegal to go out in public without it in Rio de Janeiro. Behind me is an amazing shopping mall. I'm at Aerotown Shopping. This is a food court. This whole space back there is food court and tables, and it's empty and closed down. This is the mall where Big Jump, our trampoline park, is located. The malls and schools have been closed since probably mid-March. So everything's been shut down. And we know a lot of these owners, and some of them are packing up and moving out. Like, they won't be reopening after this is all over. Okay, for us, this is the worst part. This is our half-finished, unopened trampoline park. This is our heart and soul, our business, our baby, and it would 100% be open and fully functioning if it weren't for the coronavirus. So this is so hard. The one silver lining is that we do have a trampoline park for our kids. So they have private access to come and jump on some of these trampolines. So at least we have that. I've got 5 kids and they need to get out of the apartment. So we have this space, and we're just slowly working on it and doing the best we can and really hoping for the best. But I think at least 2 more months of the coronavirus. And that's 2 more months of no business and no income. So one of the things we did here to prepare was get masks. And these masks were hard to find. I mean, for everybody all over the world. We were trying to get masks early on. Couldn't get them in Brazil, so we tried China. Couldn't order them from China. We ended up getting these masks from Malaysia. This was 2 months ago, probably. And they were expensive to get them here shipping wise, but we have masks. And now Rio has instituted a law that you are only allowed to leave your house if you're wearing a mask. Now they're selling masks in Brazil. Now they're selling like the cloth cotton masks, and some of them are cute. My girls have unicorn masks, and we're wearing them because it's important, even though it bothers me. A lot of Brazilians are wearing the masks, but some of them aren't. And, you know, you just do what you can. If I have my mask on, I know I'm taking care of me and my family, and that's all I'm worried about. Rio's government has installed these permanent street signs that say use a mask, and they only put them on busy roads where we're already in our cars and social distancing. I just think it's this interesting way that Rio is enforcing the law to wear masks, because you're supposed to be fined if you get caught outside of your house without a mask.
Hands. Okay. German. Flex. Cam. Okay.
Nice.
So what I have done to take care of myself is stop watching the news completely. I do not watch it. If there's a cure, I'm sure I'll hear about it, but for now, I'm just focusing on my family, focusing on the blessings that I have in my life, positivity, that's all. I love Chris's quarantine chic style, his long beard and his long hair. Look how handsome that beard is. There's like 5 different colors in there. I love it.
At least 6. Gas prices have gone way down. In some places it's 4.07 per liter, 4.07 reais per liter, and it's because there's been a gluttony of oil. There's so much oil that nobody knows what to do with it. I thought the gas prices would go down even further. Here in Rio de Janeiro, before the virus hit, the gas prices were $5.50, and now they're a lot better. Actually, I don't think the virus is going away. It's just that people are more willing to go out. They're sick of staying at home, and so they're going out, and people buying more gas, so the prices are slowly starting to go up.
I am here at the beach in Barra da Tijuca. I'm in Recreio, and I just want to show you there's a bunch of people working out, running along the paths. There are military police behind me patrolling. So what has happened is they kicked everyone off the beaches. They closed the beaches first thing, and then they had to have military police come and patrol because everybody was just coming back and kicking it on the beach because Brazilians live here. So do I. It's beautiful. So now if you're on the sand, the police will kick you off and even arrest you. And like I said, some people wear masks, a lot of people don't. So they'll come kick you off the beach, and people have been arrested. There have been funny news of surfers getting arrested because they're out in the water and they're like, we're not on the beach, so it's fine. I have seen probably like at one time maybe 20 surfers in the water. But so they institute these rules and they're kind of gray area and they're not enforced all the time. So it's just interesting how it's working. So we're all allowed to walk on the path but not sit on the beach. The beaches are technically closed, and you can't like put up an umbrella and sit and tan. You have to keep moving, I guess. So that's the beach situation here in Brazil. This is the view from our apartment, and this is something that I just love. This view inspires me. We love Brazil because of the beauty, the nature, the people, the food. There's so many wonderful things here for us, and that's what keeps us here. When this was all starting, people were like, you coming home? You coming home? And I was like, no, our life and our business are here. We've sold everything in the United States and made Brazil our home. So we don't have any plans to come home anytime soon. We'll see how the economy goes. That's really going to be the biggest deciding factor. I'm over quarantine. I've been done. That's the hardest part. I feel like a caged bird. I want to be free to live and enjoy and continue to explore Brazil, which is a big reason why we moved here too, is so that we can really enjoy a beautiful place and not our apartment. I really believe that positivity is one of the best strengths that you can have, keeping a positive attitude. And there have been some real low moments for me and for us. There were moments where I'm like, the coronavirus is ruining our lives, but it's really important to focus on positive things and to stay positive and focused, because there are so many good things. There are always things to be grateful for, and count your blessings. We have our family and our health, and we can still enjoy things and be happy here. So that's what we're focusing on. I hope you're focusing on the same things too and being positive. Hang in there. We're gonna get through this. Thanks for watching this video. Ciao.